You and your family have just been out there just doing extraordinary stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I haven't been on CNN in years.
Welcome back.
Years.
We
Thank
might lock
you so
the door.
much for
Welcome
having
back. Yeah, it's great. I want to say to you, to your face, I've said it behind your back. I honestly don't know if the country deserves you.
Oh, God.
I say that honestly because you are so rooted. You're a principled conservative, rooted in the best of the party, of your party, but you continue trying to reach out. You continue trying to make connections, and we just need a lot more of that. So just give her another round of applause for being that kind of example.
I really genuinely appreciate that, because I think a lot of us, I was listening to your intro, it's easy to get very cynical right now, and it's easy to get very jaded. I've certainly found myself going to places like that I didn't think I was really capable of in the past 2.5 years. I think cancer combined with the election, I find myself getting a lot more just cynical about our country, and hearing that, thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah. Well, your family has been key to this country through worse times even than this. So we can't have you giving up. But you mentioned the cancer, and my mom is sick. I told the audience last time she's getting a little bit better, but she's still struggling. How's your dad?
He's doing really good, all things considered. I've been very open. He had sort of a bad bout at Christmas time. He was hospitalized in Walter Reed. He had ramifications from his chemotherapy. He had pneumonia, but he's made this really incredible comeback. Yeah. And I was with him at Christmas time, and he was doing a lot of physical therapy, a lot. And God bless his physical therapists who help him, because they are endlessly patient. And he's doing good. It's really scary. I mean, I feel guilty all the time for being here and for doing my job. And as much as I want to say I get cynical and down, I get up in the morning, I prep, I get my hair and makeup done, put on a pretty dress and talk. This is not the same thing as what my dad and so many millions of Americans are going through. And it's a weird thing to try and live your life and still maintain your job and your life while also having this completely omnipresent in everything you do. I have bonded with people I never thought I would have over this.
It's amazing, how human it is. You go to a hospital, and it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. That person in that bed is in their most fragile state, and people come together. And you don't just do that in hospital rooms. You do that beyond that, and it's tough. I want to say that of all the great things your dad did, your dad has done so many amazing things. The thing that touched me the most was in the middle of that campaign where he was going up against President Obama, and he spoke up for the best in this country. And I just want you to show you this clip that everybody loves so much. I just want to show it one more time.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No?
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
Yeah, so good. Thank you. I can't go a day without someone bringing that up. Yeah. Every place I go, on the subway, at restaurants, I cannot go a day without someone bringing up this moment. And I was there when it happened. I remember it incredibly vividly, and thinking this is a moment that, he's really not going to give in to what certain advisors are telling him to. There were a lot of people really trying to get my dad to go with the Jeremiah Wright, you're a Muslim, you're not an American aspect of that, later Republican politics sort of turned into, and he refused. And he refused in that moment. And I can remember thinking that it was a morally amazing and beautiful moment, but that maybe there would be people in the Republican Party that would be quite angry.
Yeah. Well, where did that courage go? I mean, that is courage. I mean, you have the biggest prize ever right in your grasp, and you make a decision to say there's principles bigger than that I will not violate, even to grab the presidency. I don't see that courage in my party or your party. What do you think has happened?
I think it doesn't win elections anymore, in the saddest way I can say it. And I think about that moment and where we're at politically a lot. And I do think that if I could go back in time and my dad could do it all over again, and he would say, build the wall, whatever, President Obama's a Muslim, all the incendiary comments that have sort of come forth, it would not be worth it. I would still say don't do it, because being in the White House, and let me tell you something, my dad has glioblastoma multiforme stage 4, which I always want to say the full cancer name whenever I have the opportunity to. When you're having the kind of conversations my family's been having, I feel such a relief right now and such a burden that is not on me, because I can't imagine what it's like being president, but giving that up, but doing it the way President Trump did it. I don't think that dealing with cancer and the place I'm at in my life and where my family's at, I think it would be a burden, and I think it would be something you would have a hard time reconciling.
Well, you're lucky to be able to rely on John McCain as your dad to give you advice. You used to be on Fox, and now you're on The View.
Yeah,
it's
pretty crazy.
What role did your dad's advice play in getting you to make that decision?
So when I decided to leave Fox, he was really imploring me to take more risks and to take more chances, like going on shows like this, and to sort of get out of the echo chamber a little bit, because he does believe we're too insulated and we're too tribal. And I can remember when I got the phone call about The View, I was actually in a Mayo Clinic with him when he was getting a scan, and we were waiting for the results, and he said, big agent called me and he was like, The View's looking for you. And I was like, say no, I'm not interested. And he was like, why would you say no to something like that? Wow. To working with Whoopi Goldberg, to being the one Republican on this platform. And he keeps emphasizing carpe diem, take the moment, speak out to other sides. And I found myself, I can talk forever, by the way. I'm sorry.
Are you guys happy to hear what she has to say? I'm happy to hear what she has to say. No,
I can literally talk and talk and talk.
But just to play devil's advocate, though, did he give you bad advice? Because now you're on The View, and it looks sometimes like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I mean, and you are the only one that's there. How does it feel when you're in those really tough exchanges? And sometimes people are, they're basically implying you're a racist, or implying, sometimes the audience is mean. I mean, how do those exchanges feel for you?
Well, I mean, it's not pleasant when, the audience that's the physical audience in there tends to be mostly liberal, but I don't regret anything, and it's a really huge privilege to be on this show. The women who co-host the show, especially Whoopi and Joy, have been doing it, Whoopi 11 years, Joy 20, and legends, and it's a privilege to be there every day. It is challenging every part of my profession that I know, because it's almost like trying to learn how to speak a new language, trying to speak to not just, I wouldn't even just call them liberals, it's like the most extreme liberals that I have ever met in my life, trying to sort of showcase and show my beliefs and express it in a concise way.
What do liberals get wrong? I mean, you're one of the few people, every day you're trying to bridge that gap. Give us some feedback. What are we missing? What are we screwing up? When you go back to your dressing room and you just want to put your head on your desk, like, what is it that liberals need to get better about in this whole situation we're in?
So I am first to say I wasn't a huge Trump supporter for all the obvious reasons, but I decided on election night that I was going to try and be as unemotional as possible in analyzing him and his presidency. I'm a political commentator, and I want to call balls and strikes in the way that I can. And I don't think I suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, in the sense that I can separate the man from the White House. I've never been accused of being racist before in my entire life, until recently, until President Trump became president. And I think the problem with that is, and I understand there's a lot of tensions in this country that are overheating in a way that we've never seen before, and we're at a historically incredibly turbulent moment. And I don't pretend to understand the experience of the minorities in this country. Right. But I will say that I have vivid memories of my father being called racist. I have memories of President Bush being called racist, of Mitt Romney, of Jeb Bush.
So you think we're overdoing that particular charge? Now it's kind of almost like an antibiotic that we just use too much, and now it doesn't have any real effect sometimes.
I think it does a disservice to real racism. I think that for me, thank you. And I think that for me, I want to separate those things, and I don't want that to be thrown around the way that is. And I understand there's a lot of hurt and a lot of pain right now, but it hurts me when you're throwing out that I and basically the party I'm in and all the people I'm in are one giant entity, and everything is the same, and it's as simple as you're racist. And Jon Stewart actually has this really amazing quote that he said, and I'm going to butcher it a little bit, that he knows good people who are not scared of black people, they're not scared of brown people, they're scared of their insurance premiums going up. And that I do think there's a lot of gray zone with Trump supporters, and I would like both of us, myself included, because I'm certainly guilty of this as well, to stop throwing around horrible allegations and name calling, because I don't think it's...
The blanket condemnations of both sides.